G'day, guys. I'm Just.
And I'm Russ.
And welcome back to the podcast, guys.
We've got two special guests with us today.
We've got two guests. We're creaming them into our podcast.
Honestly,
We're crammed in this one space. We can't really fit the four
I think
of us
they're
here.
too special to have together, so we'll definitely have to have one individual one. But
Yeah, definitely.
Hi,
Yeah,
hello.
so we've got Liv back with us again, and we have Scarlett here joining us for the
Hi.
first time.
I just waved it.
Scarlett's
You waved
Scarlett's
at the
waving at the
microphone.
microphone.
Waving at you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a full house today.
It's
Hey?
a very full house. Yeah, we don't know what we're going to be talking about yet. Well, we've got a few ideas.
Yeah. But to kick it off, we'll get you to open in prayer,
Yeah,
Russ,
I'd love to.
and then we'll
love
go
to.
from there.
Sure. Yeah, Heavenly Father, thanks for another potty. Thanks for Scarlett and Liv for jumping on. Yeah, it's awesome just getting to talk to people and have these conversations, Lord. And yeah, just pray that through whatever we say today, Lord, that we can glorify you and all, and all we say. Yeah, amen.
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 Yeah. So this is good. We got two people on now.
Yeah, it's getting.
It might become the new norm. It might not be, but
Maybe.
yeah.
Might end up recording one at lunchtime with everyone just around the big table here.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But my concern is that me and you are just going to talk over.
Yeah, I'm worried about
say
that
nothing.
too.
So
We'll just
What-
chuck a haha every
Yeah,
now
just
and then.
a
That was
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
Ross. That was good.
So to kick
Yeah.
this one off, I want to propose a question to you guys.
Oh, here we go.
If you were to be
Imaginative.
executed back in the day, what way would you like to be? And you didn't feel it. Like what like I like the idea of the execution where they saw you down the
You
middle.
like it?
Like they tie your feet up onto like this rope on the roof.
No, I'll take
and
the
then
guillotine.
they saw straight down the middle of your
I'd
body.
take the guillotine, head straight clean
So
off.
you're telling me you researched this in your own time? You're like, oh, I like that way.
We've got to
Yeah.
bring it
I'm
up
gonna
on
get
the potty.
executed that
And
way.
that'd be a cool way to die. I feel like
You're
you'd
Wait,
say-
did they cut you that way? Like
They cut you like down from like in
Down the
between your
centre.
legs down to the middle of your head, like through your. Like,
that's
so like through your
yeah.
stomach and everything.
Yeah.
Like
There's
Is this
two
what you're
things-
doing in maths today?
no,
Yeah.
no.
There's two things that I think of. I think of witches, like back in the day getting burnt.
That's what I was
So I
thinking.
feel like
Or
maybe that's the way to go. Just get hung up on the stick and burn alive. If you don't feel it, it's
Yeah, do you
I'll-
feel it or
No,
not?
you don't feel it. It's
Guillotine.
like a way that you would die.
so like you have a pretty cool life if you actually were a witch and you could do like all this cool stuff and then be like, all right, light you on fire, goodbye, and then
Could
yeah.
do some
So
magic.
like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the death is, doesn't matter how gruesome or painful it is, you just don't feel it.
Yeah.
No, it's just like if you were to be killed by an execution thing and you didn't feel it, what would you pick?
So if I just say I would want to get crucified, does that mean I'm not going to feel it?
No, you're not going to feel it.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I don't know.
I reckon
This question
crucifixion.
doesn't probably make much sense.
No, it
but
doesn't. It's really
I am-
weird. If I'm not feeling it, crucifixion. But if I want a quick and easy death, I'll go guillotine.
What about like what's that?
Crucifixion.
Guillotine.
Where it's like
Where
the
the
big
thing
blade where they
drops.
put your head through.
Oh,
hole
of
and they
course.
drop
Yeah,
the big
sorry.
blade
I feel
on
like you've said that like 2 seconds.
Do you guys remember Horrible Histories?
Yes.
Stupid stupid debts. That's so good.
That is good. That's iconic.
That is. I was a child.
That's how I know it.
What about like a more
Guillotine?
modern way?
Yeah.
Just get shot in the head. Like that's even if you were
Firing
to feel
squad.
it, like you're fine.
Firing
Get
squad.
get
What
like
are
a
you-
sniper guy flick through a window and pew, and you wouldn't even know. You'd be like walking down the street and then dead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I feel like you put too much thought
There you
into
go.
this.
Look
Yeah,
at
you've
your
got
brain
that.
like stays awake for a little bit after you get shot.
You wouldn't know because you'd be right.
Yeah.
If
Well, if you get shot in the head, then how would your brain be alive?
I don't
It's
know.
like-
yeah, I
You
feel
know how
like
like a
Yeah.
headless chicken runs around for a little bit.
Maybe
we, like,
I
fuck
don't
around.
think we do that.
I don't know.
I was actually watching a
Just
video this morning on
What?
like how they draw a line in front of the chicken.
Huh?
Oh yeah, and
And
then
it
hypnotizes
hypnotises them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you
That's-
put the head underneath the wing and then it goes like all crazy.
Is it really like? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Is it actually
Yeah,
a
I
thing?
think so.
so.
Chickens are stupid. Have you
Oh.
seen the size of their heads? Damn.
Yeah, they're kind of.
Yeah, well, Russell had some stupid
Yeah,
chickens.
I've lost about 13 chickens all.
That's what
13
they are.
That's another story.
Yeah, that's another
I think we've
one.
brought that up a few times and said we'll leave it another time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not
Yeah.
ready to talk about it yet. It's a bit tender.
You're gonna get a nice welcome when you go to
It's a
heaven.
tender
Like
wound.
8 chickens
It's
be like,
salt in
you
it.
killed me. I had a good life.
I think they'll come take me your chickens away at some point before I come back.
Oh,
Just
I
so you
don't
know what I'm
know.
saying.
Steal some straight chickens.
Yeah,
Did you have a topic?
Yeah, so
Mm.
I was looking out at the stars the other night, and I remember a while back, Scarlett, you were telling us this cheeky little trick
Yeah.
on how to find south with like the Southern Cross and like one of the stars.
Yeah.
I got it. He did not.
He-
Justin was
and
oblivious,
Connor
and
couldn't
Connor
get it
had no
either.
idea what was going on. How do you find that stuff out?
Michael. Good old
Michael
Michael.
Capilli.
Yeah.
Of course.
Which is my dad for those of you who
Yeah.
know.
Those who don't know who Michael could.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know Michael?
They do,
Capilli?
obviously.
Well, he
The
was
one
just
only.
we were in the paddock one night, and then I'm like,
Oh,
oh
he's-
wow, there's a Southern Cross, and then he's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to teach you in case you get lost one day, because he's like such an expert at everything.
So you read stars and you read weather.
Yeah, pretty much.
That time
Apparently so.
you
She
looked at the
does.
clouds.
But
You looked at
like-
the clouds, and what was it? You basically said, all right, in 3 days it's going to rain, and in 3 days it rained.
Yeah, I was right.
You have your
Bang
hand on the pulse of the weather world.
Yeah.
It's like pretty easy to like figure that stuff out, because this is what I was trying to figure out. It's the wives' tales.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're like,
Old wives' tales.
yeah, like, so obviously with the star one, Dad told me that, but
Yeah.
Mum told me like, you know, if the ants run away, like,
Yeah,
gonna be a storm.
I know that one. My mum used to do the same. It is. It's an old.
Yeah.
It's an old wives' tale. My mum
And,
used to say
like,
it.
If the ants run away, there's a
If you
storm.
see them like scampering all over the place, like usually they just will pretty much
like in a
single file.
line,
You see
But
them like if they're going back and forth from their nest, you see them walking in a line.
and they're like chill. But
Yeah.
if they're like,
But if they're going like nuts, scurrying everywhere,
there's
it's
a
gonna
storm
rain.
coming.
I had a weird thought the other day, and I brought it up with someone, and it was that I feel like as a kid I remember there being so many more thunderstorms and
Oh
rain
yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's never like a loud thunderstorm. And their response to that was that because we're young, it's probably so much more significant. Like
Yes, I suppose so.
time's different when you're younger.
Like it's more scary to have.
Yeah, like it was more of like saying you
One of
would
those things.
remember.
Like, ooh, thunderstorms.
Yeah, like
happening.
it feels like it
Yeah,
happens
yeah.
all the time because it's so scary. Whereas now it's like,
Ooh,
I feel like they're not as exciting anymore.
well, you just
Now,
don't get them
now
anymore.
it's an inconvenience. You get a thunderstorm, you're like, ah,
It doesn't thunder. It's really never
It doesn't
thunderstorms.
thunder.
Though.
doesn't thunder.
Do you like? Have you?
Kilowog's had a few thunderstorms.
Well, we're
Not
getting
many.
one
Good
now.
old
Are we? I'm really hungry for a thunderstorm.
I'm too. If
Hungry.
it starts raining, I'm gonna run out of this room and dance in the paddock.
I
I
am.
was literally thinking about like, oh my gosh, I
Dance
want to
in the
go
rain.
and dance in the
That'd
rain
be
soon.
so sick. I'm so keen to do that.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
reckon.
You're right.
Well,
If it
look
starts
at it.
pouring,
If you don't
guys.
hear
It looks pretty
anything,
hazy.
next
It
time
We'll
doesn't.
bring it with us.
Yeah, we'll bring it with.
The podcast outside.
Yeah.
You dance in the rain with us.
Yeah.
They can listen to us trampling in the grass.
I have to say that's a nostalgic thing for me. Last time I danced in the rain, I was out in the paddock and I ended up coming back fully like muddy and covered in filth. But it was
Me and my
fun.
sister would do that, or we'd get on the
Yeah.
trampoline and jump because
Yeah.
the
And
water
you
sets
put-
on
I
the
used to do that
Break
trampoline.
your
too.
neck,
We
yeah.
put the sprinkler underneath. You ever do that?
Yeah, and then put the
trampoline
washing detergent on
Yeah,
it. It's like
Yeah, that's
exactly.
the easiest way to break an arm or something.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's worth it.
And then kind of branching off that again, my brain's working a million miles right now.
As it usually does.
Let's go back to this history thing because I'm actually really intrigued.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay.
If you could go to any period in time, what would it be and why? Starting with you,
We
Russell.
brought this up
We
before.
brought this up
Yeah.
before.
Have we?
Had this conversation.
Wait, would you stay there or just go and visit?
Like a visit, like a trip.
For 1 week, and you could do anything.
I have to think about that.
I'd be one of Jesus' disciples.
I was thinking that too. That was pretty. That'd be
Hang
pretty
out
sick.
with Jesus. Hell yeah.
I'd love to be there when they were building the pyramids and stuff too.
Mm.
That'd be pretty sick.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
In Egypt.
Yep. I think it'd be cool to be a Viking.
Vikings would be. Oh,
Oh, that'd be
I don't
pretty
know.
cool.
that would be pretty sick, but pretty gruesome too.
Yeah, it is, but they were just living in the moment. Like, no phones in sight.
I'd
They weren't worrying about social media or anything. They were
You're
just
right.
Oh, not with the Egyptians, but you know, if you want to choose violence, so that's all good.
I'd
yeah.
go to like a little island somewhere, like
Yeah.
Samoa or something.
Yeah,
oh,
I'd do
like
that.
like
That'd
we
be so
said, go to
nice.
the
Yeah.
Easter Islands.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Easter Island.
Yeah, you know Easter Island
Like
where they
a
have all the, or they have like the big statue head things, the big stone heads that stick
Oh,
out
of
of
the
the ground.
people.
think
Wait,
so.
were
Okay.
humans a thing when dinosaurs were around? Because if they were, I want
Yeah,
to be
we-
like the master of the dinosaurs and like ride the dinosaurs.
We kind
Actually,
of touched
that'd
on
be
this
cool.
one time. Remember when we,
Yeah, and we
had that
couldn't work
chat?
out whether like Adam and Eve were around when
Yeah,
dinosaurs
'cause
were
I
around.
think I did read in the Bible somewhere that there's depictions of these big creatures that kind of fit the sort of description of a dinosaur.
I'm like,
Mm.
Yeah.
well, there you
That's
go.
the same with like in the Bible, you know how it talks about like the big fish.
Mm.
Like
Mm.
what's his name?
Big fishy, the one that
Jonah?
swallowed
Wait,
Jonah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Does
The
the fishy
whale.
have a name?
Jonah and the
I don't
whale.
know.
Fish has it.
And like how they talk about like serpents and stuff. Like
Yeah.
in like obviously like in like Asian countries, there's like history books and stuff, and they're like not really like a part of Christianity,
Yeah.
but they actually do match up in the timeline
Mm.
where they talk about they have
Yeah.
serpents up there and like big fish and stuff,
Yeah, there you go.
like histories and like stories of that.
That's
I don't know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like it connects. I don't know why I brought that up.
No, that's cool.
That's cool. That is really cool. Like it's awesome. Like that just shows how I suppose how accurate the Bible is because it can cross reference with a lot of other
Yeah,
texts
and
and
like
things.
a lot of them aren't
Yeah, and they're not
Christian,
Christian
yeah.
texts at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It's cool because I was reading Genesis a while back, and there was like this part in the Bible where it's like this guy turned 524 years old,
Yeah.
and that's what really stumped me is how does that work? So when we get to 100, we physically age. How did they age?
That's probably different. I can imagine
Like
it'd be
slower,
different.
I reckon.
Yeah, slower. But it's
Really?
funny you bring that
Or
up.
no,
yeah.
maybe they just got really wrinkly and were just like.
Although
Well,
that
they
being said, some
function
old people look healthy as well.
But
Yeah,
I feel
Like
like
there are
if-
health.
But if you were like 500, go live.
yeah, I think like if you're 524 or whatever, I feel like if you look at it like an 80-year-old today, like I feel like they just look similar. Like it wouldn't be that much.
Yeah, I think
Imagine
it'd
like.
be-
But would you be a baby for 20 years then?
No.
Nah.
Well, then how's that
Baby
work?
Yoda.
when you get to like
Or would you
70,
be a
you're like,
teenager for
Goo
40
Goo Gaga.
years?
No, I reckon you'd still age the same.
So you
but-
just get to adult and then you'd stop.
But then it'd be different again because obviously the food was different. There was like not much.
pollution,
Yeah,
and all
that
that
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah,
all
that's
that
true.
good stuff.
And they're always like, now we're, we kind of relax and take things for granted a lot more. Back then they were always doing things and they just didn't stop, living the way they did.
Imagine living and working for 500 years.
It's funny you bring this up because I remember as a kid when I got my first Bible, the first thing I did was I got to Genesis and that same section where it talks about Adam's family tree and like so and so was born and lived for however long and so and so.
Yeah.
I highlighted that whole thing thinking, I'm the best Christian ever. This is the most
Right.
valuable piece of
I'm gonna
information in
live
the whole
till
Bible.
500.
And now I look back at that and I think, yeah,
What is
right.
this?
Why?
It's pretty cool because in that part of the Bible, just after that, it actually talks about, I think, how like Jesus basically said no one will really ever live past 100. Like he's going to kind of cap it.
It's 110, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
That's like the
It's 110.
cap.
And like I think there's been one person that's lived past it, but like I don't know. That being said, if I was ever an old person and I was unable to feed myself, walk, I wouldn't call that living.
You'd want to
No.
die too.
Like that's a bit abrupt.
But I mean, you're not wrong in saying that. Like, there's no point in living when you're just being kept alive.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I feel like living till 100 is probably
Insane.
insane.
Yeah.
Like you could get to 100. What's the oldest lady? Like 120.
112, I think it
12,
was.
I don't know, that's out of the ballpark, but I'm pretty sure she was like literally just spoon fed through a pipe or sent like.
My grandmother
Spoon-fed.
is 90. Grandmother's 98 currently.
Mine's 99.
There you go.
Boy.
It's a race.
It's a
It's a
competition.
race.
I told her she needs to get a signed letter from the king.
Yeah.
So they used to do it with
Yeah,
the queen, and apparently they do it with the king now.
Yeah, right.
And I told my nan,
Obviously.
I was like, oh nan, you have to write this letter, and she's like, well, I don't want that crap. I don't want to talk to him.
That's what it does for me.
That's so cute.
Well, actually, she has some pretty cool stories. Like she tells me how she used to like ride a horse to school and stuff. Like
Yeah.
literally would catch I had to go in a wagon for like an hour to get to school.
Yeah.
Or like I was telling Russ once, they had like this. We went on this property ages ago, and there was like this little like random like
Check.
there's this random like crack in this like bit of the mountain, and in there was this water like spot, like water hole with this waterfall that came down, and all in the wall was like carved from like the 1800s. Like people had carved their names and stuff. Well, 1800s,
1800s,
not
yeah.
1800s, but like 19 like hundreds,
Early
whatever.
1900s, yeah.
They had carved their names in there with the dates and stuff.
Oh, really?
So like back in the day, and it's in the middle of the country
That's like
too.
the spot. Like the
And
spot
back in the
everyone
day,
goes
that's
to
where
hang
everyone
out.
went.
It's so
Hangout
sick,
spot.
hey.
How cool's that?
yeah,
Well,
we're
I wanna go
we
there.
should go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to go back to the 80s, I reckon, or like
That's
70s.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
'cause
And they
my
had all the cool
mum-
low riders and
Yeah.
feel goods. And
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I'd get myself a sweet hippie van.
Bro, I always like listen and like talk to my mum about like how she grew up and how different it was. Like, because she grew up in Lismore, like like a little town out of Lismore called Dunoon, and like
Yeah.
she literally would just go to a friend's house. They'd get on these like feral horses and like ride bareback through the creeks all day, take them through the creek, just be in the middle of the bush all day, just running amok, climbing trees and going in the water.
That's so awesome.
And then they'd like canter back up the hills and they'd just be completely like free.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like, I want that.
Yeah, my dad had the
That's
same
cool.
thing. It's crazy because where we used to live in Sydney, like it's just standard like suburban place, big buildings everywhere. But he was living there like as a kid, and it was like where we are now. Like
Oh,
it was
really?
totally rural, countryside and everything. And at the bottom of our street, where we used to live, there was like this park with a canal and stuff, and that used to be just a creek and like bush and cane fields and stuff.
Yeah.
And they used to have tracks like going through the cane fields, and they'd go out there after school and like
Yeah.
strip off down to their underwear and jump in the water and have a swim after school, and then
Yeah.
go back home afterwards. It was just such a free
Yeah,
life. Yeah.
good times. Hey, like Even my great nan said she used to like sneak on the train to catch it to see her boyfriend in Sydney because she was in the country. She'd like sneak out with him and stuff like that.
That's
Like
so
cheeky.
cute.
just different times, I suppose. Like
Yeah, totally.
now we just sit on our phones.
Yeah,
And I
messaging.
hate that though. I hate phones
Yeah,
and social media so much.
It's
Yeah.
definitely changed the world. That's for
Mm.
sure.
I've been trying to actually, rely less on messaging
Yeah.
people and rather just
Same.
wait and see them.
Oh, so that's
literally.
why I can't get in touch with either of you.
Oh no, I just
Yeah,
blocked
I'm
your
just
number.
bad
I
at
just blocked your
replying.
number.
Russell, I need help. It's urgent. I'm dying.
Sorry, mate. Talk to me tomorrow at school.
yeah.
I just reply on like a random Tuesday at like
Yeah,
4
literally.
o'clock. And I'm
Or I
like,
see the message and I'm like, oh, I'll just do it later.
and you reply in your head and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
never.
You're
yeah.
replying.
I'm terrible. I actually do that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm terrible
I know.
at doing
Well,
that.
I just go, I'll reply to that later and I put it away.
Yeah, I like see the notification. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, and then I swipe it away. Like I'm gonna do it later, but I answered
Yeah.
it in my head, so my brain's like, you're fine. And
Yeah, it's all
Keep on
done.
going with life.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like people that half swipe, that's an ick.
Ooh.
Really?
How
Ooh,
ironic.
ick.
I half swipe to like.
I half swipe everyone, but it's when
You're
they're
your
doing
own
it.
ick.
But it's when they're doing it to
Hypocrite.
me.
Oh, it's
Dude,
not
you're a
me.
hypocrite.
I do it when
You are.
it's like
It's an ick.
if I don't know what they're saying, like if it's just a random person.
Mm.
But if it's like a message from you, I'll just open it straight away.
Yeah.
I half swipe my mum's messages. I'm like, is she gonna kill me? Is she gonna kill
Your
me?
mum had Snapchat.
No, like I'm like, she did for a while, I think, or was that my dad?
Hmm.
I don't know. I half swipe my sister. I half swipe them all. But yeah, no, it's
That's why sometimes I like send a message in like messages, and then
Mm.
I'm like, hey, I need to talk to you, but I'll send it in a snap so they can't leave me undelivered, and they can't.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, I got rid of Snapchat. It was one of those things where I was like, I've got Insta, I've got Snap, I've got my messages. Do I really need all of them? So I got rid of Snap, and I was like,
Snap's probably the most useless one,
literally, that's how
but
I
it's
felt.
the most used one.
Yes.
I like Snapchat in the respect that it's like interactive with photos and videos. I like
Yeah.
that. If to me, like most people send like just texts and stuff, but I like to send videos on there,
Yeah.
Mm.
and that's good because that feels personal, like you're having a chat.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. See, when
I
I message people through Instagram, sometimes I just send like a voice message kind of.
Yeah.
I just hate when people send snaps and it's like their shoulder or
Yeah.
like
why?
a dry snap just to keep the streaks. I'm like, I don't care about that. Like,
Yeah,
talk to
literally,
me
just
or I'm
talk.
leaving you unopened.
Yeah, facts.
So-
Honestly, I probably will delete Snapchat soon. Like I've kind of migrated everyone over to messages for me
yeah.
because that just works like better for me. Like, I don't need
It's better.
Snapchat. Like I've kept Instagram because it's a good networking.
We need to
tool.
start a rebellion. Everyone just gets rid of Snapchat.
I was
Do a
literally thinking
boycott.
that the other day.
Yeah,
I was
seriously.
like, I'm gonna delete Snap. But
Connor and I did at one point, and then Caitlin almost did. So we
Caitlin almost did.
almost did. So we've had a
That's-
few people.
Honestly, I really have no reason to keep it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Just your streaks? No.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't even
just
do
streaks.
streaks. Like it's just a streak if I've been talking to them for an X
Yeah.
amount of time.
But
so.
you're weird. You'll snap the person
I'm
and then
weird.
just leave them unopened. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're the one who started the conversation, and then you're just like, ugh, I can't
That's
be
just-
bothered.
That's because my brain is like.
ADHD.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you
Or
think
Or you'll
something else.
start a conversation on 3 different like things. So it'll be like messages, Facebook.
Oh,
Snap,
that's so
and then-
annoying when that happens.
No, how about when you've got like 3 different group chats happening right at the same time, and you accidentally send the wrong message into the wrong group? That's the
On
worst.
us with the year 12 chat. the other
Yeah.
day.
Oh
Wasn't
my
it- it
God.
was
He
you
sent a
that saw that.
screenshot of another conversation. He was going to talk about it to another group of people that was not the group of people he
Yeah,
was meant
I
to
was
send it
involved
to.
with that. That's
And I was
funny.
like,
Like, delete that.
Wait, what
What
happened?
do you
I
do?
missed out on
He
it.
And
all.
said-
he didn't even know. He sent it and he just left it for like a good while. And I was like,
Yeah.
like get it off.
He said that like he took a screenshot of a chat he was gonna reply to someone else about.
Yeah.
And he
He
sent
did
it in the
some-
year 12 chat accidentally.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then, but who like sends it and then gets off his phone? Like, why didn't he send it and then give context or something?
Yeah, literally, I don't know. But
Oh.
look, either way.
Yeah, he's a bit funny, old Connor. We're actually meant to have him on today, but he bagged us out for extension maths.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's right.
Who prioritises school over a podcast? Let's be real.
No, the real question is who does extension maths?
Yeah,
Who out of their
you
right mind
prioritise
does
extension
extension maths?
Yeah.
I was
But-
gonna skip this for the gym, but
No,
We'll
you
just-
stay.
We'll go to the
This
gym
is more
after.
important than the gym. In fact, I feel like gym's like killed my neck.
no, that's
I've
probably
like,
just.
I've like stopped
You're
and then
probably
I'm
just
like,
doing things wrong. It's
Yeah.
Mr. Coleman. He's doing too much.
You're not warming up.
Making
You're not
you
cooling
do
you're
down.
not doing your neck work.
You're not stretching.
my neck workout. I need to listen to some more rock music on the way in. Bang my head a bit.
Some dubstep music.
But yeah, no, like kind of taking a real big like swing back.
If you go
Going
back to
History.
a history,
History,
thing
guys.
again,
80s,
this.
80s is the best time, I reckon. Like
70s.
America, like
No.
America.
70s in America, like in like the real like when like rap was born, like you know all the low riders.
Yeah, I
and
suppose
stuff
that's
like
your
that.
thing, hey?
Yeah.
That's my thing. That'd be
Like-
cool.
Eminem.
Yeah, like Eminem,
Eminem.
Dre, like Straight Outta Compton, all that. That was the vibe.
Yeah, that was I like it.
I reckon like
Not my vibe.
80s, 90s Australia would be sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd go 70s.
Well, I don't know
during
about
80s.
women, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
everything else is.
That's why I'm staying a little bit like 90s is a bit better than
Yeah.
Getting there.
getting spitted on.
I'd go 1000, the year 1000 in Australia. Dude, I reckon it'd be so sick to live with the indigenous people. It'd be
Oh.
so sick.
You know how like we were talking about dinosaurs and stuff before? There's actually like I remember watching like this little documentary like back in Australia, like way back, like before we even got colonized.
Yeah.
They took
There's,
a
like-
video.
No,
I just tried.
I'm looking
Stone
at
tablet.
it was a documentary on it.
Oh,
and then
okay.
They found bones and the bones match like a wombat, but like
Yeah,
Big.
the giant wombat. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a massive like living
yeah,
thing.
but like
A
so
giant
like
wombat.
you know how
Giant.
wombat's like a decent little like a
Yeah,
like a
little
big
tubby.
cat or something. Yeah,
yeah.
They're
But
not a
it's like-
big cat. They're
they're the
It's a
size
fat
of a
cat.
big cat. You know what I mean?
Stubby.
But then like they found it was probably what 4 or 5 times,
Huge.
but it was the exact same, just a big wombat. And same with like those like big dingoes and
Yeah, massive dingoes and
yeah, like
I think even
platypuses
the
or something.
We
yeah,
just had
even-
fun size everything.
Even the Tasmanian tiger used to be a lot bigger.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
and roos too. Everything was just big.
What's that dinosaur show that animated?
Dinosaur
Land
Show?
Before Time.
Yeah,
Dude, Land, I read your mind. Land Before Time.
that was me. Like I was thinking of Australia while I was watching that.
Dude.
Which one's that?
Remember? It's
Is
like,
that the 3 dinosaurs? Is it?
it's a bunch of dinosaurs, and there's like,
There's one yellow.
yeah, it's like a little yellow triceratops thing.
That is a
that's
top
such
show
an
I've ever seen.
iconic childhood movie.
I was really off the mark. I said dinosaur train.
Dinosaur Train.
It has some
Honestly, I
relevance,
love
guess.
like the OG like
Yeah,
ABC 3.
that.
Oh, that one.
Surely
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Was it Littlefoot? Was that his name?
I don't know. I'm not a Littlefoot.
Littlefoot. I knew it.
Littlefoot, Ducky,
Ducky.
Petrie, the sharp tooth. That's a scary looking dinosaur.
What's that? Oh yeah. That was like, yeah.
Yeah, they were good. Though. I reckon our generation, like, we've had a pretty good run. I reckon.
I reckon.
I
it's getting
think
to the
our
end of it.
childhood, like our age and probably like maybe the year below us, they had like we were like the last ones to get a good childhood before
Yeah, I
like
reckon.
Like,
Everything
I think
was
it's like we've. I know like what you mean. Like we're probably not going in the right direction, but I think that technology isn't all bad. Like
No,
technology is
definitely
pretty
not.
cool. Like
No, it's not the fact that technology is bad. I think it's just the way it's used is
Yeah,
often.
like when-
yeah, like okay, like social medias and stuff. That's probably not a great part of our area,
And,
but
like-
like the TV shows we grew up with and stuff
They
like
were
this.
good.
they
like-
were good, but the thing is like when you go to like because obviously working at Woolies, like back in the day, like when a kid would like scream or something, mum would just be like, "Shut up!" Like,
Yeah.
here, have a lolly or something. I don't know. And
Now
like
they just shove an iPad
yeah,
in
but
front of
yeah,
their
like
face.
here, what's
Yeah.
some cocomelon? And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the kid's just like
Yeah.
doesn't even know what
Fixated.
they're
It's
watching,
so
doesn't
dumb.
know how to understand it
Yeah.
properly, and they're just watching it to
Yeah.
keep them distracted.
Yeah, my mum always drilled into me like you have to look out, so like no tablets on like drives and
Yeah, I
stuff
don't
like that. Like
That's good.
and
That's
like and I'm still this bloody mess of ADHD.
And even going back with the Woolies thing, like technology has helped so much with like just the organisation, like with the little
The
scanner thing,
RF guns,
Then-
yeah.
Like even like I know one of my family members, when he was like our age, he
Yeah.
worked at Woolworths and
Wow.
he had to do the front checkouts. Oh my goodness, I would not want to
Everything
work.
was
at,
like
Mm.
it was
You had
like a
to
little
do-
type in.
yeah,
each
yeah.
Oh, the little like the
Yeah, it was so bad.
the what are they
The
called?
Yeah.
computers?
No,
Like
the
it's-
things that we had at
Typewriter.
Calindi's typewriters.
Typewriters.
Like you know the
dude.
cash registers that are like the
Yeah.
typewriters and they ding.
Back in
They
the day.
literally had to like type in the numbers,
Yeah.
so you know how it's like
Crazy.
901765.
Yeah,
Really?
They
all
literally
the things,
and
yeah, yeah.
every single thing instead of just going beep.
But back then,
beep,
like an
beep.
thing of eggs was probably like $1.99 or
Right.
something.
No, yeah, it'd be heaps cheaper.
Heaps cheaper, yeah. What I can't believe is that your Woolies store has got all the little like electronic like screens now in all the aisles.
My one doesn't.
Doesn't it?
It's Foster does.
Foster does.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was your one. Yeah,
No.
the Foster one. Have you seen that? I think I told you about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you told
All
me.
the
Yeah.
electric screens.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, that's bad because when the
If
system,
the system goes down, I mean,
it's- everything's
surely they'd
like-
have backup generators or something.
Yeah, no.
They would.
They-
But
They
like,
get
but
it
in
back
saying
quick,
that-
but
Come on.
in saying that, like,
we ain't scabby.
there's what's the problem with the little paper thing you put behind the
I
magnetic
know. I
strip?
like the
What's
little
wrong with
paper
that?
thing.
Yeah, it's all changing, I suppose. Like,
Yeah.
I actually watched a video the other day, which is so funny. It's like a historic video
Yeah.
of like land in Sydney, and there are these people leaving this auction, and they're like interviewing them. They're like, "Oh, hey,
Oh,
so
I've seen
how was
this.
the market? It's like,
Yeah.
did you get yourself a house?" And they're like, "Oh no, it was too expensive. I think they wanted 3,000 for the house."
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah. No, yeah. It was
There's
like,
literally houses in Sydney selling for like.
we wanted to pay no more than 3,000, and the guy bought it for 4 or something.
Yeah,
It's like,
he's off his chop.
yeah. Whoa.
We'd be lucky to get like
I'll
a
take it.
tin can of a car for £4,000
Yeah.
these days. And
Yeah,
Tell
well,
yourself, buy yourself a van and live in it. That's all you need.
yeah. If you want to buy a tin
Living
can.
La Vida van life.
Live in La Vida van life.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll wrap that one up there. That
Yeah.
was a good chat.
That was a
about chat.
rant on rants. I
That
reckon.
was-
It is, but that's
That's
how
all
we
it
do
is.
it down here
That's
in
how we
Funky Town.
roll.
Ooh.
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll.
You
But
know-
anyway, thank you for joining us, girls.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
problem.
It was awesome having you
Yeah.
on.
happy to be on any time.
Yeah, it went
Yeah.
really quickly, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Yeah.
think we could definitely go into more depth about each of the subjects.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For
But
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a
Leave that to
motor
the,
of
we'll leave
ideas.
that to the imagination of the listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Come back
anyway,
next week.
yeah. Thank you for listening, guys. As
Well,
always,
Catch us on the next one.
yeah.
Yeah.
As always, I'm
John
Josh.
and I'm Ross.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
You.
Oh, I got it. We're not allowed to stop this. We're not allowed to stop this.